I'm back. Welcome back, y'all, to Ball Talk with Kim. Smoothing out the truth with hope. Y'all know how we do it. So, y'all already know if you follow my page what we got going on today. So, it's going to be real good and juicy. We're going to help some people today, right?
That's right. That's
Right.
All
right.
right. So, today's show is uh relationships and love languages. We need to know about this stuff. So I do have two very special guests with me today. My lovely Jonathan Hawkins, realtor broker, and also Miss Cheryl Nathaniel. She's no stranger to the show. So welcome, Jonathan and Cheryl.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
She's joining us online.
I
Yes.
am. Hello,
So
hello.
she's spicing up. I don't know which side of me she's on because when I'm looking at the camera, it's all jacked up. But nevertheless, before I do anything, y'all know how I like to get business together. Okay. So this disclaimer: all information posted is merely for educational and informational purposes. It is not intended as a substitute for professional advice.
Mhm.
Okay. Should you decide to use and or act upon any information, you do so at your own risk. While the information has been verified to the best of our abilities, we cannot guarantee that there are no mistakes or errors. However, okay, TGN, Power Play, and or its affiliate shows, podcast, broadcast, radio, TV host, and or guests will not be held legally liable for the opinions, advice, and or content provided. Now, people, it is for entertainment purposes only. I cannot say that enough. I don't understand. I don't understand. But hey, we understand. We got it. So, as always, I love to give my inspirational quotes. So these quotes were written by me for me. Now I'm sharing it with you guys. So I would like to share one of my own. Is Lily entry number 466. How fitting is this for the topic today? It said, "Love is never uncertain. It has no gender preference nor ethnicity. There is no color or size, nor can love be measured by the amount given." Okay. Love is unconditional and not circumstantial. Love is exactly what it is.
What it
Okay.
is.
You don't need nothing else behind that. Love is
That's
just
right.
boom. It's a statement. Okay.
Right.
So without further ado, I would like to talk to y'all a little bit. I'm gonna bring up something real quick because a little fun fact for y'all. So March, did y'all know that March has two birthstones?
No.
I didn't know that.
Two stones, two different
No.
stones. Okay,
No.
so March has it's pretty cool. It's the only month that has two. And I don't know. That's just I like little Aries and Pisces. I like them. They're my kind, you know.
Right. There
But
there are
March
kind of
has the
people.
birthstone that's unlike any other month. The aquamarine is like that bluish turquoise looking color,
Mhm.
and it symbolizes youth and health and hope.
And hope.
Yes. See, my name come up and everything, right?
Right.
And then you have the bloodstone is the other March birthstone, and it is the type of like a quartz. It's known for the fiery flecks of the of red. So it
Mm.
represents strength and step. So
Mm.
that's pretty interesting to me, and I thought that was pretty cool to share about the March people.
March.
These March people. So also for the month of March, we have these awarenesses, and I like to share the awarenesses because I don't a lot of stuff that people we don't know as a whole. We just don't
Hmm.
know. And I like to share those things. So I'm gonna see if I can turn it there so you can see that. I like to share those different things. So what we do know, March is the March Women's History Month.
That's
For
right.
sure. Well, I think
Right.
last week was it Wednesday or whatever day it was last week was the actual day to
Right.
celebrate the women.
International Women's Day, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so now we have the whole month just recognizes a lot. So the National Cheerleading Safety Month as well.
Mm.
For if you got those girls that's out there doing their rah-rah,
Hmm.
hey, it's a safety month. They bringing that in. And now that I think about it, when I was a cheerleader in high school, we did do a lot in March around spring break
Interesting.
because they were really pushing us being safe, being safe, being safe. So that's pretty cool. It's also expanding the girls' horizon in science and engineering.
Wow.
So yeah, we got a lot going on. National
Okay.
Craft Month is also Optimism Month. So us positive people, Okay,
love it.
all those
Yeah, all
positive
day.
people.
I love it.
You got to keep that energy going. What
I'm
better
telling
time?
you.
It's spring break.
So I guess it's like, is it for certain people march into womanhood?
Well, yeah, okay. If we want, hey, look, if we gonna do that, we can march it on into womanhood. We would just marched out of February, so we gonna march into womanhood. That's how we do it.
Right,
Okay, that's a good concept, good spin. It's also National Honor Society Awareness Month. So for us smart babies, come on now, see why academics is so important. It's springing forward. Hey,
Right.
y'all, come on, get this together.
Those CAD kids.
We are, huh? Well, I was national. Were you on National Honor?
On
I
National Honor
wasn't.
Society and
See?
Dean's List, and
These, there we go. President's
we were
list.
tags, we
See,
were tag kids,
there you go. I had
talented
it.
and gifted.
Cheryl, was you on
I
the National Honor Society somewhere? Some
I was
national.
not.
You
I
were,
was
you
I
were,
was not. I was not. Not that I know of.
you were skipping.
Well, like I had a little mishap in high school, so I didn't get to
Oh
be
well,
on no honor societies or
she was on the
nothing.
Honor Society. It was just it wasn't
It
recognized.
wasn't recognized, but
You
we
know,
did
Mr. Don
maintain
got
that
jokes.
3.0. We maintained a good grade in school, all throughout school, all the way through my professional
That's
career.
all good. You got out of there. That's all that matters. See, look at there.
Yes, Lord. Oh my goodness.
And it's also St. Patty's Day, American Heritage Month,
Yeah.
Irish Heritage
Right.
Month. So that's
Hmm.
pretty cool too. So St. Patrick's for that. Then we have the National Ethics Awareness Month, as
All
well as the
right.
National Kidney and Nutritional Month.
Okay.
Okay.
We also have the colorectal cancer awareness month.
Oh,
Okay.
Cancer is like serious, y'all. It's
it
not just
is.
for any just cancer. It's serious.
It
Right.
Like
is.
take heed to that. If you have any type of signs, symptoms, anything that just off, and it's repetitive, please go get seen about. And I tell people now, if you are over 45, go get your colons clean.
That's
Go
right.
get your colons checked out, man.
Mhm.
Now I think it's now at 40 because
Yeah.
we're aging so fast.
Right.
Our bodies, it's so much going on with the foods that we eat.
Mhm.
You find yourself sluggish and tired a lot.
Mhm.
Please, everything in your gut, y'all, the digestive system is important.
It is.
Please, please, please bring that in. So I did read a little bit about that. We also have Save the Vision Month, workplace eye wellness. You know,
Our people perish for
you
lack of it. Okay.
for the lack of vision. you don't bring it. You already know what that means. If you need some extra help, this is why I have to do the little knowledge. If you need some extra help with your
Not
eyes,
extra, but escrow.
extra, right? You need some extra help with your eyes.
Right.
They got that natural tree. That now allegedly they say it's supposed to help with that glaucoma. That
Mm.
herb called we.
Mhm.
Mm,
Mhm. We know.
I don't do. I stick with these here trifocals I got going on.
mm.
See, y'all see. Okay, we ain't gonna.
Let
Don,
me
you gonna get me in trouble.
let me
And then we have the Problem Gambling and Awareness Month. I didn't even know there was such of a month for gamblers.
it's gambling can tear up some stuff. I know some
Yes, it
people who
can.
Yeah.
been gamblers and they lost it all.
Oh, that's not good. That's never good. I tell
How
people
I
all the
mean,
time, like,
home and
if
all,
you're
lost
doing
it
too
all.
much of
That's
it, you
right.
have an addiction. Get
Mhm.
some help. And
Mhm.
they have the Gamblers Anonymous, and for that, please get some help, y'all, please.
Yeah.
We also have the bleeding disorders awareness and trisomy awareness. I talked about a little bit about that last week. It's that extra
Okay.
chromosome that we have. But
Is that
what
for Down syndrome?
it's kind of like Down syndrome. Yes,
Okay.
it's that extra chromosome. So, this one I wanted to share the light on. I always pick at least one that I really wanted to share some light on. This one is the multiple sclerosis or
MS.
MS.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't know and I didn't give a lot about it. I do know several people who have MS, and it is no joke.
Some of
Right.
Oh
some of my
man.
family.
Yes, family members. It is no joke.
Yep.
And y'all, it just bothers me because sometimes we see our family members really going through things and we're thinking, oh, they just complain all the time. She always complain about she hurting. I always complain about she aching. Or he always
Mhm.
talking about, oh, my bones hurt. Baby, they are not playing. See,
No.
you may think they just complaining, but their body hurts. So what I've learned is that multiple sclerosis is potentially disabling. It's a disabling disease of the brain and the spinal cord.
Right.
There's no cause. They don't know the cause for multiple sclerosis. It's unknown to this day how people develop that.
Right.
Just don't know.
But they can manage some of the symptoms.
They can
of
manage it. Yes, absolutely. So here, some of the symptoms, yeah. And if you're having more of these symptoms and they're coming repetitively, like constantly, don't ignore your body. Please don't ignore
Yeah.
your body.
Just think
So
about it.
there's the numbness and weakness in one or more of the limbs typically occurs on the side of your body at the same time. That's crazy. Then you have the electric shock sensation that occurs with certain neck movements, especially when you're bending forward or like you have like that L-shaped type stuff going on. Be mindful of that. There's a lack of coordination. Also affects your vision. I know sometimes as we get older, a lot of times, it's like, oh, my vision messing with me. Have you ever heard somebody say, hey, I was standing up and I lost my balance? Just
Yeah.
out of nowhere. You just stand up and you're standing up and all of a sudden you falling. Like how you fall in a standing position? Be careful. I'm telling y'all, it's serious. You have that unsteady gout or inability to walk. Like
Interesting.
yeah, it's those. These are like literally common symptoms that we ignore because we think, oh, it was just that one time. Don't
Right.
ignore the one time, y'all. Please go get help, and they have special testing for that as well.
Wow.
Before it gets too bad.
I wonder if insurances are covering that. Or is that something that's going to be?
You know what?
That's
That's
a good
so
question.
sketchy with insurance these days because. Okay, before I say, well, you know what, I did read that disclaimer. It's so politickish. When it comes to that, oh, you got to be able to do this, or this before we can run this test. Before we can say that that's what it is. And then when things are really bad, now insurance will pick it up after you done spent a gazillion thousand of dollars trying to figure it out. We also have the prolonged double vision or blurry vision. Okay, now we all got glasses, right? Everybody,
Right.
Right.
everybody
I was about to say.
you wear your glasses. You got your glasses on,
I
girl.
got them on. I got my bifocals on. I can't see without them.
Are for just to
Just for sure.
appearance.
Is it just for appearance, sure?
No, I
Jonathan,
cannot see.
yeah,
No,
I
I
wish I,
cannot
I
see.
wish I had your problem. I'd be able to see. I wish I had your problem. So also we have also vertigo. And then there's also problems with sexual issues, bowel and bladder function, fatigue,
Really?
slurred speech, which can be confused for strokes. Y'all, come on now. Come on now. And then also cognitive problems and mood disorders.
Wow, it's
People
crazy.
typically with MS, they moods will change just like that. And it's because it's some acute pain going on. And they don't, and it could be something new. And so their moods are whacked off like really bad.
So the family members may think they're just mean.
Yeah. Think they just
So-and-so's
mean all the time.
mean.
Yeah.
Mean as old rattlesnake. But
It's really symptoms of it could be common symptoms of MS. Now you got some family members that's just flat out mean. Y'all know how that goes. You got them family members. I'd be like, look, I'm gonna put you outside, like for real. But
Yeah, but
but
they're just ornery. Ain't nothing wrong with them.
ain't wrong. She ain't no wrong. Well, I just want to get into the show. So
All right.
I'll go ahead and reintroduce my guest again. So I have Mr. Jonathan, who's the realtor broker as well, right? And he's not going to talk about his realtor broker. He may throw a little something in there as we get further into the show. And, and, and then of course I have Miss Cheril. She's joining us via web. And she is like an entrepreneur. She does a lot of training, business, corporate. Child, she got a lot. Y'all need a resume. Holler at her. She got you. She got you. Just saying. So today's topic is going to be about relationships and love languages.
Love language.
Yes. So we've all been in. Well, Jonathan is married, right? Married. Cheril and I have been married before, but in like some significant relationships. I think we can kind of relate to some of this stuff.
Oh,
That's
I can
going
totally relate. 25 years of marriage is a long time to know
Yeah.
someone's love language. So, yes, this is definitely a topic I'm interested in.
Yes, and you learn your flaws. You should learn. This is about learning and growing, right?
Right.
Look, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. Yeah.
I've just come across some things because when you asked me to come here, and I was like, this is pretty good because I was at a function that I had earlier today, and some of the ladies that were there was like, oh, it's gonna be good, and so they kind of piggybacked on what their significant other's love language was. But when I asked them what theirs was,
They couldn't tell you.
they couldn't tell you.
Wow.
Is it
Mhm.
so for the ladies out there? Is it where you pay attention to your significant other's
hmm
love language or how to approach them, but then perhaps maybe you kind of leave yourself out the equation? Is that what happens
Well, that's
sometimes?
both. No, that's both. It goes both ways. But before we can really talk about love languages, before
Right.
you can really get into that, you got to
Yeah.
know what type of relationship you in first. First of all,
Right.
it's
Mhm.
six type of romantic. I don't know why they even put romantic in there, but it's six types of relationships.
Really?
Right.
Yeah, child. At least that's when people start putting these labels on stuff.
Okay.
And I'm like, hold up, six types of relationships. It's either you in one or you ain't. That's at least that's what I thought.
Okay.
Right.
So the first two is date. One is dating and the other one is committed. So dating is it's like the process where you intentionally speed it, intentionally just over time you're together intentionally,
Right.
right? With somebody,
So
right? To get to
growing up,
know them. You,
you have too much. You go together, or you
Yeah,
you
it's
go
just
there,
that dating stage, right?
but
Of
you're
getting to know
dating.
each
And
other.
see, I kind of disagree with that a little bit. Yeah, you have fun together, you date,
Mhm.
you're just dating.
Mhm.
And you're enjoying being romantic. But here's the deal, and I get it, romantic can be physical or it could just be with the nice little things that they do.
Right.
But the way we grow to when
Right.
you include romantic in something, it's physical.
Mhm.
Okay. Ain't no such thing as dating unless you exclusively dating some one person. You're supposed to date multiple people to get to know
Right.
them, right?
So that's something that we weren't privy to coming up, in the area of
Right.
Mississippi that we came from.
Yeah,
It was
that
like,
part. Or
it was
Louisiana
like,
child,
oh yeah, Louisiana.
Shell, you dating? You agree with that? I kind of don't, because I don't.
Okay,
That ain't
dating,
dating.
I guess that means like if you have one particular person that you're dating and y'all are going through the motions of getting to know each other to build to the commitment stage. And you're at the beginning of learning that person's love language. It's a little odd. I will say this for when I went to school for communication, organizational communication, that's what I have my master's degree in. And I had to go through all of these communication theories about when people date, right? And pretty
Mhm.
much that beginning stage is you just trying to figure out if you all have more similarities than differences to keep it going. So
But
I don't quite know if it qualifies as a relationship type, but I guess it is a relationship type, a loosely based one,
yeah, I guess
loosely
because
based.
dating to me means I can talk to a gazillion other people if I want to.
And
That's dating.
that's the healthy
That's
version of it.
this is the healthy version.
This is the healthy version of
Oh,
it right here.
they raggedy.
To be able to to be able to say, you know what, I'm spending time with, you know, different people. I'm spending time with Cheryl. I'm spending time with Mary. I'm spending time with, you
Right.
know, and so I get a chance to find out more about what I like and what
Other
I
people.
don't like.
Right.
I get a chance to find
But
out.
with one person though,
Well, here's the thing though, when you're dating, intercourse and physical intimacy does not enter that space.
it's
That's
not
right.
supposed to.
That's right.
It's
So
not
so
supposed.
well,
It's not supposed to.
ideally, if we're talking dating, sex is not entering into the space because we haven't gotten to that point yet.
That's right.
So in
Mm.
this context, I think it's talking about dating in that perspective. You're getting to know people, you're not engaging intimately with them.
It's
Mm.
the interview process.
It's
This
the
the
interview
interview. Is
process.
that's what that is?
And
Okay.
Right.
it's the
So
Yeah.
I'm safe if I got 4 or 5 different dates. I'm safe.
You're safe.
You're
I'm
safe.
trying to narrow it down.
You're
Is that
Right.
interviewing the most
mm.
qualifying for your time.
But I
Right.
might like this one that this one do, that one do. So the definition says dating a shared social relationship between two people who are attracted to one another.
That's right.
Right.
To be
At its
So it's
basis level. Right. Yes.
I
Yes, it is.
reckon. So okay, if that's the case, so we're gonna lead into this committed one. This is number 2. It says committed. In the context of couples, the phrase in a relationship, I'll use quotes for that, usually means being in a committed long-term romantic relationship. Typo, y'all, forgive me. It's a committed relationship is one where why I say 2 or more people. See, I ain't feeling that.
because the poly people are out there. And look, I
Yeah,
talk
we got to
to
represent all groups.
I know some really good poly people in there.
I do too.
It
I do too.
And it's important. Oh, geez. But it
it works
says
for them.
2 or more people agree to continue being in a relationship for the foreseeable future.
You
That's
have
very
thruples.
interesting to me.
You have
I know
thruples. You have
a
thruples.
husband with 2 wives here. I mean, they have businesses and everything. They are great people.
Let
And
me meet these people.
It's called a thruple. It's called a thruple, Kim.
I'm just like, how do y'all do this? Like, dude, bro. I know he's living his best life at this moment.
well, he's responsible for making sure that his wives are treated with respect, and he's not doing more for one than he does for the other. They have
How?
children. They
Sister
all raise
wives?
children together, and they have their own. They have property and land and
They have
businesses,
all of
and
this stuff together,
Mhm.
and they're doing. Oh my goodness, child!
What is it called? A polyamorous relationship, right?
Yep, yep.
And so they're a thruple. You have
So
two.
he's not married to both of them.
He's
He's
married to
to
one, and
one
then the other for legal
reason,
purposes, right?
right?
But they are, all 3 are together.
So you get tired of this polygamy thing going on, and you kick your one wife and say, "I just want to be with the other one,"
Oh
and
my
then you marry
goodness.
the one that you wasn't married to, if that's the one you chose, right?
I don't think it's like that. I think it's like they really build a family unit together.
Right.
Oh
It's not
wow.
so much as I'm tired of her, I'm not tired of her. It's like we are in relationship.
They're not in
And
competition with one another.
no,
Oh, well, child, y'all trying to school? Y'all hear that? Because
Yeah, so there's
look,
two women who are not in competition with one another, and they have decided to share the benefits of this relationship with this man. It's
wow.
not for everybody, obviously.
Yeah, I'm still trying to come out of that old school. For me, I just feel like commitment is between just the 2 people and
I've
not
known
really
some
share
where
multiple.
it was actually the wife's idea to actually include another wife in there.
And the man was all for it. So,
Oh,
Well, I
right.
for it.
mean, it's a lot of responsibility on him to be able
Whew,
to
child, I can imagine.
provide,
Yeah, you
and
have to be
emotionally,
stable financially.
financially, um,
Mhm.
stability of the family. It's a lot on a brother. So
Oh, wow.
it's not just like,
Whew.
oh, I get 2 women. A lot comes along with that.
Miss Dunn, could you do that? That polygamy thing. I don't Miss she
It's
ain't
it's
gonna like
it's
that. Miss Trudy have a cow.
poly
Baby. Ain't no other
polyamorous.
woman coming up in here.
It's polyamorous, not polygamy.
Yeah, yeah.
It all depends.
Kim said this polygamy.
He said it all depends on the UFOs, child. But but okay. Well, hey, well, put that definition that you just put back up about commitment. Okay, so committed, and romantic relationship definition says a relationship between individuals who assume that they will be primary and continuing parts of each other's lives. So I guess there can be more than one. And then some of the key points is voluntarily the Western culture, which
Mhm.
involves romantic and sexual feelings, primary and permanent. So if you really want that, I guess thinking about that, it just depends. They know their place for the most part.
If you think about it, before we got here in America, that was commonplace for in Africa, as
Yes, it
far
was.
as
That was
having.
their culture.
That was the culture. You could have. I mean,
Like
sometimes it was
concubine, is that the same thing?
no, not so much as concubine. You would actually. So if you had, it could be put for political purposes.
Oh,
Hey, you know what? I'm marrying the daughter of this particular person here, so we don't fight our family.
So the
oh,
tribes
wow.
could come
Tribe,
together, like,
the
yeah.
peace, keeping the peace
Keeping
in
the
the
peace,
areas.
you have
That's
those
one.
wives.
There's one way, and then you bring healthy children into the, and so it kind of conjoins a whole area together.
Oh, wow.
And so far, I only know of 2 tribes that where the women actually had multiple husbands.
Oh,
It's only been 2 that
Right.
I've studied,
Not as common, but definitely a thing.
wow.
and so
I don't think the Western culture gonna adopt that because child, the way these women be cutting up. I mean, it's almost like common for men to have multiple women, but here in the West, I don't think that will ever be adopted here in this
Well,
Western
I will
culture.
say this for that. I think that in the age we're in, with people having so many different ways of identifying
Mm-hmm.
their sexual orientation, I can see it maybe not being a common thing, but I can see two men being
Ooh,
in a relationship with a woman,
one
depending
woman.
on their
Ooh,
preferences and what they need.
wow.
There is one couple that's been on Facebook. I think they're in Louisiana, where it's two husbands and one wife,
Right.
and
Wow.
they.
And it ain't no battle between the master, because the lion, I think about a lion. And in the king, for a lion who rules this jungle,
Right.
he made the best man win.
Well, let,
Right.
let me let me put it this way. Listen, every male is not an alpha male. You have some men who are beta, right? They're
Mhm.
not that, I am Tarzan, hear me roar. They're not the alpha. And
Mm.
they're okay with being in a relationship where one man is the lead, the other one is a bit passive, for lack of a better word.
Mhm.
And then you have the female who may be balanced in both her male and her feminine energy, and it works for them.
Yeah.
Oh, child. Well, I'm so glad
Again,
y'all here
people are
today to
fluid.
explain it.
So
I'm so glad.
everybody, that's not for everybody, y'all. That's not for everybody. That's just
It takes a lot to make up a world, and there, right, Cheryl?
right. It takes a lot to make a world. There you go.
That's why we call America the mixing pot.
Right.
That's what that is. Anything goes in America, y'all.
Right.
You is
Big
free to
melting
do
pot.
whatever you want. Okay. But so the next two, these are interesting. So we have the casual and the casual sex relationships. This is very interesting. So number three, casual is like the relationship where there's two or more people that may be dating regularly and spending time together, engaging in romantic and sexual activities, but without any expectations for the relationship to
Yeah.
last in the future.
Yeah,
That can be dangerous.
I mean, that was Jada and August Alsina.
Right.
Oh,
True.
child, did not go there. Well, but hold on. It
It
said
was
these
the
types of relationships
entanglement.
are usually more situational and short term, and they may or may not be exclusive.
Right.
That's casual. So that means you can just do whatever well, I'm casually with you. I'm, spending time with you, doing what we do, and that's just that. We just casual.
Right.
I don't think that fit Jada and August Alsina.
Well, I
I don't
mean,
know.
she was married to Will.
Well,
Go ahead, Cheryl. Go ahead.
now I'm gonna tell y'all, because August is one of the husbands in my head. I have more than one
Oh,
in
he
my
one of
in
your
my
husbands
in
in
my
your head.
fairy tale world. August is one of my husbands. So, I had to watch this story closely because first of all, I was like, okay,
Water,
this
okay.
young Virgo is dating an older woman. Yes, that's right
Whew.
up my alley.
It's
So I listened to his story and how he said that this was his truth. And people had kept asking him about it. And he was like, it was during the time when Will and Jada were separated.
That's true.
They
Mm.
weren't together at this time. And they dated for like 2 years.
Hmm.
Wow. But weren't they in the same household though?
They didn't live in the same house, but he visited the house a lot during that time period and hung out with the kids. And he was sick, and she nursed him to health, and that's how it
Mm.
developed. And then when Will and her decided to reconcile, unfortunately, he got the short end of the stick.
Uh,
Because
uh,
She went home. I mean,
because Jada was OPP.
what? See what other people prop you
she
down with
was.
OPP.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean
I
that
mean, just call it what it is.
that to me is crazy. Even if and I get it, they celebrities, they on public display. I get that.
It's a lot of people out here that's OPP.
Yeah.
They're on Front Street. So
Oh my
I mean, I'm
goodness.
just calling what it is.
That is crazy to me. I'm like, girl, he is your son. Okay, here's where I'm gonna draw the line. Why
Okay.
your son's friend? Like your son's friend? Like,
Well, just
girl.
think about it. They connected on an energetic level. Energy.
That's
Energy,
just like
right?
my son, my
So they
21-year-old.
connected.
But no, that's like my 21-year-old son bringing his friends to my house all the time. I watch these kids, these young boys grow up to be young men,
Are they not 21 now though?
But yeah, but no, I'm a mom. Look, I'm a mama first because listen, I'm not looking at his friend like that. I
I
see his
understand.
friend
Okay,
as my son.
You ain't never
I
heard
get
no.
that. But at
No,
some
no.
point, and look, me and my friend had this conversation. My personal trainer and I had this conversation.
Uh-huh.
And when our children become adults, sometimes we have a hard time viewing them as adults and we keep them in that space of
Mm.
childhood. Well,
Mm.
apparently these two adults, Jada being older and August being, he was, for all intents and purposes, an adult. She did not commit a crime. It doesn't make her a pedophile.
Mm.
It was two adults that made a decision to be together. Now that's taboo. It probably don't rock with everybody, but she committed no crimes, you guys. Like she didn't
Well, I
do
mean,
anything
but did it
wrong.
not
She
tell?
has sexual agency.
Well, then, I mean, I get the fact that he's an adult, but you're a mom. You have a son that's his age. What didn't that not mess up the friendship with the son? The
I have
son, they
no
did
clue. Cause
have
think
some
about
issues there.
this is what we're thinking. You're thinking in terms of your narrative and your story.
Yes,
They have a
Lord.
completely different lifestyle where
Yeah,
that
they are.
boundary maybe was never set in place. So if they didn't have that boundary
Mm.
in place in the first place, it wouldn't be taboo to them. It will only be taboo to people on the outside looking in who don't see the world the way they see the world.
Wow.
Can I
That's
add
the only
something,
way I can describe that.
Cheryl? Can I add something to this that we've
Yeah,
probably all
definitely.
seen? Who's who remembers watching the American Pie series? It's like the
I
American
remember
Pie
that.
movies,
I
right?
remember the American
Oh, I
Pie. Yes.
love the American
Remember
Pie movies.
Stifler's mom?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Listen,
Stifler's mom.
come on now. All right.
Everybody has that
All
fantasy.
right.
Oh, and
Is it really-
Jonathan.
does-
Oh, Jonathan. We could take it further than that.
yeah.
Remember the Beatles had that song about Mrs. What was her name? Um, oh, Mrs. something something. It was by the Beatles, and it was a movie about it too. And everybody wanted to get with that mom. What's
See,
the
that's
name of the song?
good.
So
Ooh.
it's like a fantasy
I remember that
almost.
one. But I remember that.
I'm about to pull it up. It's a Beatle. It's an
Hey,
old Beatles
Miss
song.
Parker.
But you know,
Yeah, we have Miss
see,
Parker,
I guess maybe because my boys are very strong minded and they are like,
Mrs. Robinson. Hey, Mrs. Robinson by the Beatles.
see,
I don't remember that one. I'll
Oh man,
research
it's a popular. I mean, like we don't rock with that kind of music, but
that.
that
but
one is a popular thing
but
to want
as
to
for
get with
me,
somebody's
I mean,
mom.
you're right. It's just me looking at it through my lens. It's just an absolute no go. I mean,
Yeah.
because even the kids that I've watched grow up, I could not do that to my kids, my sons. Even now, somebody else that may be 21, not my kids' friends. Like negative, no.
Yeah,
No, no,
negative no.
no, and that's the way
Negative
it'll
no.
always be casual, baby. This ain't gonna be
Hmm.
no long term nothing. This is just what we do to have fun. That's just what that is.
Right.
But so that leads into this casual sex relationship,
You'll
though.
never know.
Right into it.
Proposition
I get, I
by
get,
older women,
I know they have.
even in the church.
Yeah. Oh, child, that don't
Very
surprise
true.
me at all. I see that
Very true.
regularly. My sister podcast today, Jazz, today was on today, and they talked about that today, and it just so happened to be about, was it a 12? What, Mr. Don? What was it about the 12? Today's show with the Jazz and dating a pastor, 12 don'ts and dating a pastor, and they did talk about that. Like, no, you hold yourself to a different standard. You can't with this, some of the stuff you got going on is not what it is, but it was more
Right.
biblically based for
Mhm.
theirs. So I just can't see it. But what lead from this casual to this casual sex relationship, when you got two or more people that spend time together, primary to have sex. That's all
Right.
they do. You just stick and move.
Stick and move. Stick and move.
Go back to which one? The young boy. Oh, the which one? To his question about because it was in our bottle phase segment about the young person, should I leave or stay?
Oh, excuse me.
I think Miss
I'm burping.
Roxy. So this is gonna be coming later, but since we're on relationships, they all so befitting. So here's a question. Hold on one second. We're gonna pull up this question. So his name is Gerald. He's 30. Gerald 30 from Jackson, Mississippi. This is on Ask Miss Nick, my other sister station.
Okay.
Okay, so his mother is 53 years old, is a divorced and very sexy for her age, and has a great personality to go with it. She works from home and wears her sexy lingerie all throughout the house. When my friends come over, she is so warm and flirty with them during their visits, which is embarrassing. He said, one of my friends told me that she has slept with one of my other friends. His name is Thomas, who's 31, on
Damn.
multiple occasions, and told him not to tell me. So should I tell her how I feel, or should I dissolve my friendship with my friend Thomas? He
Baby.
said, help me put this fire out.
Well, I do have a question.
Mm.
If you 30, why your friends coming over to your mama's
Do
house?
you live with your mama? Like,
He lives with mama. That we kind of
That is
understood.
the first problem, bro.
oh Lord. Okay.
I need you to.
He could be taking care of some things, helping his mama, out. Yeah. Well, so that's the standard. No one leaves home anymore because it's too expensive. Or he could have fell on hard times, so he's back at home with the mama.
We're not making excuses for no
If you
grown
at
ass
home
man
with
living with his mama, Kim.
Then you can't.
What you say? What you say, Cheryl?
We're not making no excuses for no grown ass man over 30 plus living with his mama.
Say it again.
We're not making excuses for him.
So hold on. Don is saying, say it again, Don.
She said she just had a talk with her trainer.
Her trainer,
She said your values the way you see it with your son.
Your values, what you see with your son.
So
Yeah.
it can be the way that they see it that way. He stayed home.
He stay at home. Okay, well, I mean, he's right.
So if he at home with his mama, that means you can't police her. You can't police her private.
You can't police her poo nanny, basically.
That's right. That's right.
You can't police mama's poo
I
nanny.
need you to give up. I need you to get up off the nipple, bro. 31 years old. Let your
That
mama
part.
be great.
But
That part.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
part.
mean,
I got to
let your mama be great. But
let her be great.
I
Let her make it. Let her
I
make
guess
it.
the thing for him is disrespectful. Okay, I'm finna flip the script for a second.
Right.
This 30-year-old is constantly bringing in a lot of women in his mom's home. Okay, so I'm just flipping the script.
Mhm.
He's don't you? And mama's like, look, all these that you got coming on up in here, this is not what that is. Not in my house. We're not gonna do that.
Mhm.
So don't he have a say so?
Well,
Or not so much of a say so to change anything, but he says, hey, that's offending me. He's bothered by that.
okay. So who pays the cost to be the boss in the house?
He
That's
probably
my
do.
question. That's my question.
If he had to come home,
He said, my mother, she's a divorcee and it looks very sexy for her age and personality to go with. So I don't know whose home it is.
And look, mom works from home.
mom works from home.
So it's mom's home, sounds like, and
So
she's
it's-
walking around in her lingerie. Now, it sounds like that the mom and the son need to establish some boundaries, period, on both ends, because it's her house. And if he doesn't like her dibbling and dabbling with his friends, then first
be
of all,
throwing
don't
yourself out
bring
there
your
like that.
friends to your mom's house.
That's right.
Well,
First of all, you have contributed to this problem. You are enabling her to continue a conversation with someone you call your friend. Now they've developed a whole relationship, because if they've had intercourse several times, they dating. They're one of the relationships we just talked about.
They probably passed dating.
They're past that.
It's the friends with benefits, young man, older woman. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they're
So
past
Mr. Dunn
that.
said he's different. He said,
In the first 5 letters, my mother is a divorcee. She's 53.
Mhm.
This is her last call for alcohol.
he said, the first part, my mother is 53. It's her last call for alcohol. Okay. Well, you know what? Oh, God. Well, look, I just can't see me do. And maybe it's just me. So I just can't see me doing it.
This is the crazy part. Now, listen, I have been
If he be there,
approached. I have been approached by me and my children's age, and I've had.
You know, this my mama.
Listen,
Huh?
listen. Can you hear me?
What'd you say?
Because I know
I have. Go ahead, say it again.
I have been approached by some of my kids, people with me, and they graduated with, and I've had to say, "Oh no, oh no, like that's not what we're doing, and that's not where we're going." I appreciate it; it's flattering, but
Wait,
it's a
Don
no.
said, hold on, wait a minute. Don said,
If you meet that man in Jamaica, just you and him. What time is it?
he said, if you meet that man in Jamaica, what time is it?
It's
just you and him.
time,
Huh?
No strings.
no strings, right?
No strings, and it's nobody else knows you in that area. Would it be a possibility for you to?
Yes, mom.
What? She got quiet.
Oh no, let me tell y'all about me. Look, I am not opposed to dating a younger guy. I will date a younger guy. I have an age cap on that. We ain't going as low as no goddamn 20 something.
Well, how would you know? You don't card him. He just looked like a nice young man. You know he younger than you, and you don't card him. He can lie to you and tell you I'm 30, and he can be very much so 22.
No, you could tell. You know the difference.
I need to see.
It's a maturity level. Come on now. You know the difference between a 30-year-old versus a 22-year-old.
How did your oldest child?
Mentally.
How old is your oldest child, Cheryl?
30. My oldest child is 30.
She's 30.
She in Jamaica. She meet a 30-year-old guy, 6'4", with a beard, body, and he used to be a skinny, scrawny guy in her hometown. She's seen him there. They have drinks and hang out. Come on, sure, have fun.
I am gonna have fun. I am not one of them in the box type of living women. So listen, if we connect energetically and it's like, hey, and he younger than me, shit. It's gonna be on and popping. It'll be on and popping. It's not like I'm about to. But if it's somebody I know, like if it's my kids' friends, no, it's a boundary there.
She said it's the boundaries. It's more so the friends and the boundaries. Yeah. They got to establish some boundaries, basically.
Yeah, need some boundaries there. Like, no, I'm not going to screw my daughter's best friend who's a guy or some shit like that. That's just no. But if it's a person I meet him in Jamaica, as Mr. Don said, I'm going to be like Stella.
He said, hold on now. Wait a minute. He got it going on, girl.
We're going to be like Stella.
In Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
I can't change your mind.
You mean as far as the guy?
Yeah. Now, you 30 years old, you 6'5", you come out to be a great, handsome looking man. Nobody but them two there, 6'4", buff, you the quarterback of the school. That's just them. No matter what. I ain't said hometown, I ain't said go with it, whatever. Come on, man.
So what'd you say, Cheryl? It's just a
what was the scenario? I didn't hear it.
Like the 30, you meet a 30-year-old guy that's buff, y'all in Jamaica together. Y'all ran into each other, excuse me. He's from hometown. He's 30 years old. And he knows one of your kids.
I'll tell you why I would probably say no is because I would always have that fear that he would run his mouth.
Okay. That makes sense.
That would be a boundary. That would be a no.
Run his mouth.
No. So in other words, if it's somebody you didn't know,
you okay
you know
with
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It'd be different. But somebody you knew from the hometown and you know your kids, you'd be afraid for that to kind of get around.
Yeah. So it's just like it's a no-go.
Okay.
Yeah, it would still be a no because you don't know who they gonna go home and tell that they run into you in Jamaica and y'all had this hot steamy thing, and now like it's all over town, and you're like, what?
What? He said he gonna set it up. Girl, shut the front door.
Oh Lord, be quiet, Mr. Dawn.
Shut the front door. Said he gonna set it up, girl. You ain't gonna even know. So of course, casualty sex is just what it is. That's that other relationship where it's literally all they do is hook up for sex. That's it. The friends with benefits. It ain't nothing more that comes out of that part.
It's a BC.
It's a BC.
It's a booty call.
That's all it is. That's the booty call. That's all we doing. I just hook you. Look, hey, dude ain't doing it right. I could be in a committed relationship with somebody.
We just
I guess
it out.
Just
grinding it out.
That's the stress relief. You say it's different. No, because
it's like it's in the middle. You know what that is?
What?
And they don't use it that much. We kicking it.
Oh yeah, the kicking it. Friends of benefit. That's my move. That's what we do. We kick it.
Yeah, I'm just kicking it.
I'm kicking it with you. That means I go eat with you every now and then. I come knock you down every now and then. So we kicking it. So when you kick it, there's no attachment.
Exactly. It's just friends of benefit. I ain't your boyfriend.
When we kicking it, I keep a door open by hanging out with you and being with you. Friends of benefit, I go straight knock you down. That I go back home.
That's what this is.
Yeah, that is two different things, isn't it? I kind of agree, Mr. Don, on that. It's kind of different.
But when I'm kicking it with you, I keep you in my back pocket.
Right.
Got it.
Well, I guess.
I agree with that.
This is strictly for.
And I'm married now.
Right? You ain't got no kick in it. That's why you married. Okay, look, see, that's how you get in trouble.
No, I agree with him on that. If you kicking it, that's somebody you keeping in your back pocket. You keep a
Yeah,
door open
that's
for that
my friend.
person.
I can
And
call it my
then,
friend. It's understood. This is my
but like,
friend with
if
benefits. We
it's
kick
just
it.
if
That's what
it's
we
just
do.
casual sex, though, that's something different. You're not
That's
keeping them in that
that's
back pocket.
that's okay. So then that's why it's 6 types. Remember that. So
Okay,
this one is just strictly casual sex. Yes,
got it.
we
Got
are
it.
kicking it. There is no strings attached. It's completely what we do.
It's
We
free.
know it's just us.
It's just a free
Right.
form.
It's a
just a free
freebie.
form.
This is something that I like to do. You know, we attract to that. That's what we do. Boom. That's what we doing.
Got
That's it.
it.
It don't
You know what
matter.
I'm saying?
I got a girlfriend. You may have a boyfriend. It's cool, but I know I can come to you and you hook me up and boom. That's what it is.
That's what
Wait a minute. Hold up.
oh, that's
Wait a
play,
minute.
bro.
That's
That's my point.
I thought we was talking about like casual sex between two single people, not.
No, it's casual sex. Period. That's
Oh yeah,
that type of
nah.
relationship. So it
Okay,
leads
that's
into this situationship.
all right. I was about to say because now I'm like,
Fine.
what?
That's what leads into these situational ships. Lord, these people and these child. That's why you don't define labels unless you just exclusive. Period. You're married, you're married. Otherwise, you're single. Just
That's
call it
right.
what it is. So
Situationship.
they have this type of relationship called a situationship.
Mm.
It is romantic. It hasn't been explicitly defined. So there's no definition there. It's usually by omission. Okay. So it says this relationship may have many of the same qualities as a committed relationship, the casual relationship, and dating. But the people involved have simply not put labels on it. It's usually intentionally. Okay, y'all fitted that right. And it said where that's to avoid making things too complicated. So it's like a situation. It's like, we don't put no labels on this because I don't want to, let's not label this thing. Right.
Labels on it.
I
We
like-
just gonna, we just gonna do us. We gonna
Yes.
let us do us.
Mhm. It says because they're still trying to figure out what they want from each other. So, baby, let me tell you something. If you're in a situationship and you're trying to figure out what you want with each other, you
don't want much,
You
right?
don't want, exactly.
You don't want much.
Exactly.
Shoot.
And it says, or because they're too afraid to bring it up, like the DTR talk, which means conversation defining the relationship. That's what it is. They don't define it. It's just a situation
Call it Lauren Hill.
with
That
her. And yes,
That was weird,
Yeah.
wasn't it? With her
She
and
had-
Steven.
she was with is it Bob
It was
Marley?
one of his
Stephen
songs.
Stephen Marley.
Yeah. So
Stephen Marley.
it was just kind of weird. I'm like, how do you wait? Don't you? It's that
But
kind of stuff.
It works for some people. I mean,
It does.
I mean, I can't.
You don't think that one or the other will eventually get like, hey, I want to put a label on it.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for so long. It happens where we grew up at. Look at
Right.
that. Auntie got her old boyfriend she done had for
20
for
years.
situation for
Oh my
years.
God. All right.
Children out of that.
Right.
But everybody know that is, that's old Mr. Fred that stay around the corner.
Yeah. They've been together for 20 years.
But he got 6 kids.
got 6 kids with her.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I've seen that too often.
I mean, but at some
way too
point, and the wife may know about this woman,
Yeah.
and that woman just know you better not come in my space. I tell you that.
Exactly.
Oh,
Like,
y'all, I gotta
I'm
share
not-
this story. Let me
you
share
know.
this story right quick about a situationship. And my grandparents are passed away now, God rest their souls. But my granddad on my dad's side, he had his family, my grandma, them and their 7 kids. And he had a I don't know what you want to call her, but he had a friend, I guess. And he had that mistress for years and years and years. Like the lady never had kids for him or
Wow.
anything. But my grandmother knew about this woman. She owned a bar. And y'all, my grandma was a beautiful woman, stylish, beautiful. This other woman was butt ass ugly. Like,
Wow.
I ain't even lying.
But
Just
I don't think it's about the look.
It's not.
She's
Let me
providing
get
something for your grandfather.
right.
That the wife wouldn't.
There was a benefit there. So
Yeah.
long story short, one time I'll never forget, I don't know what possessed my granddad to decide he wanted to take some money out of the household to this other lady. But he did that. And he should not have. So my granddad used to drive a classic Oldsmobile or some old car. And when my grandma found out what he had done, she went out there. She never talked about that other lady. This is the only time I saw her act out in anger. She took a hammer and she jacked that classic car up. And it was a nice old car.
Well, she bust the windows out the
She
car.
bust the windows. She did slash the tires. She beat the front of that thing. She tore that sucker up. Now, he never got that car replaced. I don't think he could afford to at that point. It was really a nice car. And secondly, he never took any more money out of her household to that other lady. So I don't know how that.
He understood the boundaries.
So they understood the boundaries, those old people back in
Strictly.
those days with those relationships. Now, could I do that today knowingly? Probably not. Because I
know
feel it's a certain level of disrespect. But he kept that relationship with that lady for years. Like, OMG, it was crazy, y'all. And a lot of them old people was like that. To be granddaddy, have his family, got a whole side family,
Yeah,
a
so
side
do you-
chick.
Okay, why do you
somewhere.
think that so? Why do you think that?
Situationship.
I have my reasons why, but why you think that they have? Why grandfather was stuck on?
I'm gonna tell you this, and this is just for me the simplest form. The other woman that he went to, that was his peace of mind. It doesn't matter what they look like or nothing like that. He found some type of peace there.
You don't think that grandma
that was me?
Time?
No, my grandma didn't give him a hard time. Now they did fight and stuff, but I don't know what was what. Because like I said, I never did get it well. I'm like, dang, like you got this woman who provided you these kids and stuff, and then you get this ragamuffin over here. Like you got a bobblehead and you got a queen. Like, why are you still going to the bobblehead?
He can help you out. He gonna tell you why.
Tell me why.
Tell her why. We need to know why Papa was out there
with this situationship. Because we talking about why.
Oh, the one you love ain't the one that flipped you, he said. No, child.
I believe that. Ooh. I 100% believe that. Why don't you just marry the one that's gonna flip you? Then you got it all.
No, I don't know. There's no commitment there. Like you said, she didn't have any children for him. I see it. It happened. That was common back in the day.
It's 80-20.
Mm-hmm. It's the 80-20 rule. He loved on that 20. Ooh, until that 20 said no more. No more.
Because the one that flippy is only 20%. She ain't got all the other 80. So, but the one the 80, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to have to be like, ooh, baby, don't kiss your mama because you don't know what her mouth is.
Her granddaddy could have had a class today.
He could have had a class on this today.
That's a joke.
Yeah, you don't let the side piece be your main. This is my
thing, and this is what happened. This is why men cheat on women, in my opinion. Y'all just listen. This is just my opinion. Is because they fall into that category of I'm going to marry the good girl because it pleases society, but that's not technically who I want. So they marry the good girl because that's good for their image, and then they turn around and get a woman who may not necessarily be good for their image, but that's where they really truly want to be. If that's where you continue to be, just marry that chick. Like I don't get it. I don't get that.
Jonathan.
You play football or basketball?
Football.
Do you have a sports car?
Did I have a sports car?
You had one?
Not really a sports car. It was all right.
You got a hobby?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm trying to she keep trying to put the dynamic how she thinks.
Well, she said it's her opinion. She just what she thinks.
My opinion, yeah.
Men play. He plays sports. He got a sports car. The thing we do is sometimes it's recreational.
Yeah. So okay.
So we always playing.
So on
we got toys, we got strip club, we play.
And what happens?
Women like to play. I'm just saying.
No.
Yeah. We do play.
No.
Yeah, we do. Y'all just don't know.
We just smart about it.
We'll be scheming on a whole other level.
We play. We'll do that by nothing and nobody.
Now you got women. I know several. Like right now, and I mean they playing hard. I mean, I guess I would be a new generation to you. Yeah, girls play anything you can do, I can do better. Trust and believe me, I got one up on you.
Carly Ray. Yeah.
So I'm saying the mindset with men is that we all about recreational and toys and playing. So sometimes when men go out there, they ain't gonna leave their family. They want to play. So we never know. We don't have a something in our body to make us grow up. And you know what that is?
Oh,
we have a cycle and bring a child to this world. We don't.
Oh,
So y'all always on time, on
Mhm.
focus. When your last cycle come at 10 years old, you better be a woman. But you said, damn, what happened to me? Because you didn't bring another body in this world. We don't. We play sport, play football, we chase, we do so much stuff, but we don't have the mechanism or the growing up process
wow.
The
that we need.
responsibilities make us who we are.
Right. So that's
Mm.
why y'all hear folks that you need to go to the army.
But you know,
Discipline and
Discipline,
responsibility.
responsibility, grow up.
That
and
grows up a man.
I get, but I guess it goes with how you were brought up and what you were taught. Because I do know some women, you're like, girl, how are you even still standing? Like it's that madam syndrome.
Let me ask you this.
They're taught to be madams.
How
Mhm.
many of those are payback until they having fun with?
None. That's God living truth. None.
They're not payback.
No. They straight up, hey, I do what I do. Dudes can do. I do what I do. I make mine. I just don't talk about it. That's just how they move.
Yeah.
I mean, and these are women that's you like. Wait, I would have never thought you do this
I think that's some of the more masculine energy
of that woman.
that now women have adopted because they've
Right.
seen grandma,
And mama
and
do.
Right.
grandma get her
Mhm.
head knocked between the washers,
Right.
Mm,
Right. This
and
is
then
very
the
true.
mistress and
Very
everything else.
true.
If you want a good read right now, I just finished Stephen A. Smith's
this book. Oh yeah,
memoir,
I
and
heard
it's
about that.
called Straight Shooter.
Yeah,
And
Mm.
it is, I mean, he
I
leaves
gotta read
no,
that one.
yeah,
yeah.
he
I heard
leaves
about that.
everything on the table. And he particularly speaks about his father.
Mm.
And his father was that fun guy, and everybody was like, man, you lucky this was your father. Well, his dad had another family.
Hmm.
Wow.
And it was around the corner, and then like he never brought any money into the household. Now his wife, so I'm gonna go ahead and speak on what Cheryl was talking about. So
Right.
picture this is his wife. His wife is biracial from
Wow.
the islands, real pretty, right?
His trophy lady.
Trophy,
Right.
Mhm.
okay, from the islands, and she's a nurse, respectable. The other woman wasn't her,
she was that let me
and
play
that's
with
where
it.
3 days out of the week, 3 to 4 days out of the week, that's where he was.
That's big time. That's a lot of time spent
And then the
somewhere
Baby.
else
other days
outside of your
he,
house.
he come back, and then he wouldn't do nothing with his wife, and his
Why
and
not
his
divorce
three,
the
four,
woman?
four, or 5 kids he had with her.
Why
Oh
not just
no, that
divorce the
wasn't
woman?
part of the culture back then. You didn't leave. You stayed.
Oh,
That was
child.
especially the island culture.
We've all been
Right.
there.
Very conservative.
So we've all
Hmm.
been there with that. Like
Right.
staying because that's just what it is. You don't leave, you stay.
That's
You
right.
committed to it. You said I do to it. Stick with it. I mean, in a way, it's almost like still bringing that Western culture, adopting to the biblical principles of a husband and wife. I married you to death do us part. So I'm
Hmm.
gonna stick here, no matter how bad it is, how worse it gets. We stick together. What I do outside of this is what I do, but I can't let you know about it, and vice versa. Don't bring it to me.
As long as don't get no dirt in the
Don't
household.
bring it right. Don't try.
Right. Right. Don't you track that in here.
That was the
That was it.
Cheryl, you heard that too?
That was
Yeah.
it.
Don't you track that dirt in my
You
house?
know,
That blasted.
Yeah,
yeah, because I know at home, just growing up. I mean, now that I'm older and I look back and I'm like, wow. So you mean grandparents and aunties and uncles are older? They had separate lives all along.
Yeah.
Like, man, this family over here's dad, every well popular known, didn't know you had 2 kids for this woman across the street.
Hmm.
Y'all just kept it. And then because they were married, they had to put it in the husband's last name, the children of the
Hmm.
husband's last name. You dare not put it in your dude's, that baby's in your dude's last name, and the
well,
kids later on in life find out. So you were my dad the whole time?
Hmm.
Yeah. See, that's why it pays when people die, old people die, boy, everything come out.
Yeah. It does. It does.
trying the hardest.
Really.
Like, right.
Hmm.
Exactly. It's like, wait, why are you crying so hard? Well, what y'all didn't know is that what? See, child, it gets
That actually happened to one of my coworkers, the lady I worked with a few years ago. Her dad passed away, and they found out
mm,
during the week that he was being prepared to be funeralized that
mm.
he had an entire other family because the children of the other woman showed up. And I remember her coming to work and saying, I couldn't even mourn my dad because I was so upset with him. I was angry at a dead man.
He ain't gonna rest at all.
Right, because he should have told us that, and now we're having to contend with this at his funeral. Crazy.
That's right.
That's a situation shipped to the grave. That's crazy.
Ancestry.com or whatever. It has outed a lot of people. I found some of my family members. I have found some of my family members.
When you go digging, you gonna find it.
And probably somebody comes, you're gonna watch this. Well found. I know at least 4 or 5 cousins from the same lineage.
Yeah, but you know what? Real talk, like for real, and this happened in my family, y'all. There's no joke. My dad, I kid you not. Like back in the day, my grandmother had kids. My dad's birth mother had children, and back in the day, for whatever reason, they would have babies and give them to a family member. And that family member raised them, so the child knows that family member as the mama, daddy, you know, or what have you. Or if it's the old sibling that takes the child, this is like nana, grandma, or whatever. But true story. For years, my first cousin, my dad's brother, I'm not gonna say the name, but my dad and his brother are very close. They're kind of in the middle of the two of the youngest. Very, very close. And for years, it wasn't until I was in my 20s when I found out that my first cousin, like me and her were always close in school. I used to say, when she was like, hey, cuz, I used to think that this was like, oh, hey, cousin, we play cousins, not knowing that she is my real first cousin, my daddy's brother's child. I had no freaking idea that was the case. And it was like, man, when she told me that, I said, we really cousins for real? She said, yeah. And I'm gonna tell you something else you didn't know. And she started reading out the whole family tree. And I said, oh my God, I used to like him. That's probably why grandma was like, you ain't talking to that one. No, ma'am. But why y'all didn't tell me?
Now listen to this, Kim. Now listen to this. This is what we're talking about is the reason why people shouldn't get into situationships. That undefined type of thing, it leads to so many other unforeseen issues. Because it's undefined. We're just gonna leave it like this and see what happens. You know, terrible things happen. That's what happens. Terrible things.
Yes. And on the last note, this last relationship, number 6, is ethical non-monogamy. I've never heard of it before, but
ethical non-monogamy?
Yeah, non-monogamy. So it's a broad umbrella term for any relationship where people can have multiple romantic and sexual partners.
Got it. Those are the other side of the poly people.
That's at the same time, right?
Yeah,
so it does includes polyamor. How can I say the word? There you go. Yeah. Open relationships, relationship anarchy, and many other types of relationship between more than 2 people. Ethical non-monogamous relationships can be casual, committed, open, exclusive, dating only, sex only, or some combination of these categories. And the people in these relationships may or may not use the terms like boyfriend, girlfriend, partner. They may not use it.
Are these some of your swingers?
They swingers. There you go. That's what I thought. When I said both swingers. That because I never heard of that term before as far as a relationship. But there we go. That's the
lifestyle.
Right. This is the book version of swinging. Ethical non-monogamy.
Yep.
That's what that's is.
Crazy.
Ooh,
but so, I do have some friends in that situation where they're married and they do invite other people into their bedroom, I guess.
And they all have boundaries. Every last one of these relationships should have boundaries defined. And I think that's the one thing. It's about communicating and understanding your place. I hear my son say that all the time. Know your place. Really? Boy, what you mean know your place? The 16-year-old. He tells his girls, but he's very open. Tell these little girls, know your place. What do you know about knowing your place? You need to get you your own place. How about that? But he says that all the time.
Twin acting out.
I don't even know where he came from. I'm still trying to figure this out. It's just he messes my head up on a regular. But with all 6 of these types of relationships, it all falls back to boundaries and communication.
True.
You have to understand your, as my baby would say, know your place. Know your place in each one of these relationships that you decide to get into. Ain't nobody fall in either one.
So Kim, what are your boundaries?
My boundaries? Oh Lord. No, as long as we get together, it's communicate. Boundaries. I'm not a jealous woman, so I don't have a problem with my significant other talking to another woman. I do feel something may be off. And I guess it comes when I'm spending time with the person, that time with them, getting to know where we are, and just keeping that level of communication open.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to address what's already understood because I made that clear up front. I'm gonna be honest with you up front. This is what I expect. This is what I want. And if you can't, there's no going on the outside of that.
So transparency and honesty is
very important to me. And it leads to this our next part of our relationships, which is called love language. To speak your partner's love language.
Well, you know what? I can't leave Cheril out.
Cheril,
what are your boundaries?
Can you all hear me okay? Because I'm getting some feedback, so I don't know if I'm coming through clear. Oh, okay, cool.
So Jonathan asks, what are your boundaries
in a relationship? Oh, definitely to, like you said, being open, honest, and transparent, like tops the list for me. Because we can define what we want our boundaries to be. If I'm going to be in a relationship, though, it's going to be a committed relationship between myself and my partner. Because I get really leery when we inviting other people in. So I would, because of safety issues, you don't know what other people got going on. But this is just me personally. I do want to be open and transparent, with my partner, but within the boundaries of our relationship, so far as intimacy goes, with me, anything goes if that's my committed partner. Because I'm trying to be his flipped lady and I'm trying to be his queen.
Already.
So already up front, I'm trying to be the lady in the streets and the freak in the sheets. Like I'm trying to be that for him. So as long as we're open and transparent about what the other one wants and we're committed to each other, I'm willing to be whatever. I'm like the Christian Grey. Let's get the red room and do some things. For sure. You gotta be a special man. I'm telling you. I'm not in a relationship right now, so right.
She's not in a relationship right now. She's just being transparent.
I'm not. I'm just telling you, like, what it would be for
so
me.
He said, Don asked, were you trying to be a queen?
I heard you say something about queen.
No, she just said I'm gonna be the lady in the street and the freak in the sheets, but it's about setting boundaries and So since you asked us, Jonathan, so now we ask you, what are your boundaries, sir?
Boundaries of what I like that, what we set. And look at you. Okay, so
I'm learning.
You're learning?
Yeah,
okay,
it's coming from me.
Right. What we decide upon, for our relationship. So it may not be exactly what everyone else's could be or whatever. I mean, and when I say that, different roles. Like, I may cook more. She does,
Wouldn't that fall under like more of a love language rather than boundaries?
It possibly would be, but honestly, transparency is very heavy with me. I've had some relationships before in the past where, where honesty and transparency was not high on the list, and I had to cut and run.
You gotta cut loose.
That's right. And like she said, you don't know what them other folks.
Being.
And so,
it's danger.
So,
watch yourself.
So,
that part.
So boundaries again, of course, with that being set, I need you to be honest with me, need to be transparent. I need for us to be able to talk to each other and treat each other with respect.
Yeah.
And we're not yelling at each other. I'm not your kid, you're not mine. And that we're two adults who are, doing this thing called life together.
Right.
Okay. And so with that being said, then with that framework of a boundary,
Mm-hmm.
then the roles can then, be defined within, but that's going to be the framework.
Okay. Already then. Well, we heard it from the man himself, child. So now also, okay, Mr. Dunn got his. Okay, so
All
what's your
right, Mr.
band?
Dunn.
Mr. Dunn, we here for it. Come on with it.
What you allow and what you want to allow, but you both find solutions to move on.
What you allow and don't allow, but both find solutions to move on. That's good. That's some good stuff.
Mhm.
Move forward. Well, that's good.
You're never not going to have your boundaries cement.
Well, that's true. I agree with that. You won't.
You're going to have your this over here, this over there. But they're going to come a time where they both
You have to compromise, like basically no.
no, compromise mean that to me that you just dealing with it. It's my boundary, it's truly boundary. So okay, then how can we find a solution to move forward?
To move forward.
But what happens in a relationship, you keep bringing up my to-do list.
Mm, okay.
I don't like
It's that to do it. Yeah.
I get to become a dictatorship.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I don't want a dictatorship in no relationship.
Absolutely. I
Right.
agree with that. No dictatorship in a
That's right.
relationship. That's
Right.
ooh, that can be
Right.
the annoying. I run on that one. Usually they say the women do it.
But you just say, okay, then we got to find that you can't come home after 2.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what, I know within their rules
Yeah.
that I can't come home after 2. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So then ain't no see,
That's just yeah.
we said, so we found a solution. I said, well, can I come at 2:30? So like this, so we found a solution to that.
Gotcha.
We keep going on and on, then it gets up to 1:30.
Right.
But it's not a deal breaker.
I see.
Some people
Okay.
take boundaries to be deal breaker.
Mm.
Mine's not.
We don't set that.
When you're in a relationship, you don't look for deal
That's
breakers.
it. Long as you know where you are in that relationship, that is it.
One of my frats told me that because we hang out from time to time,
Mm-hmm.
and we may go, we call it, Final Fridays or whatever
Mhm.
we do. And I missed the last one, but I had to get reason to miss it. But like he and some of the other guys won't stay out as late as maybe some of the other brothers who may be single or maybe
Mhm.
they just want to stay out a little bit later. So maybe around 12:30, 1 o'clock, they may come in,
Mhm.
12:30, whatever. So he gets in early, right? He gets in around 12 o'clock, he gets in. But then when his wife goes out, she's be back 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever. And
Wow.
so we had talk about this, and he was like, I said, so how did you address it with her? Because it got addressed.
Mm.
And he said, we didn't argue, we didn't fuss. When I came home one time around 12:30, she was like, oh, you hanging out with the boys, but you come in kind of early. And he said, well, I told her, I said, well, I'm a married man, and ain't nothing out there at 1 o'clock. Ain't nothing out there for me at 1 o'clock.
Right.
I come home
At a decent hour.
because I'm a married man. And she started coming home around 12 o'clock.
She
12:30.
changed it up.
Set the example. I love it. Lead by
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
And so he said, I had to fuss with her. I had to fight. When she asked me, I just told her, hey, this is what I'm a married man. I'm setting the standard.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
She fell right in step.
Right.
Oh wow.
But you see, if she was having an affair, was cheating, that's how women so smart. See, if she was doing anything, she'd have fun on the front end. We have fun on the back end. We already busted.
Oh, you busted.
Yeah, this is real.
We already busted.
She can't stop coming at 2 o'clock. Got to keep coming to. She done have fun at 11 o'clock at his apartment, whatever. But that's how smart the women are. So, but she got
Wow.
trained. Say, okay, let's go. I got to go home later. He's not going to get me at 1:30 something.
He kind of warned her in a way.
So the thing is, when she started coming home at 12, she said, you know what? Let me shut this down. If he do right, let me do right.
Yeah.
Because he kept letting her come at 2:30. But see, that's the smart part. See, she had fun on the front end, not on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
So see, we have to chase you, buy you drink, damage you to 1:30, 2 o'clock. Then can I go to your house now?
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. So, love language, how to speak your partner's love language. Which love language are you? So you have the words of affirmation, the physical touch, receiving gifts, quality times, and acts of service. Now, mind you, there are tons of love languages. They may fall under these main categories, but there are tons of love languages. So out of these five, or is it five? Five. What's your love language? Because it's on here. It tells you how to communicate it, the actions to take, and also things to avoid.
For me, I guess it's blended.
It's like a blended
It's kind of a blend, but the one that really jumps out first is physical touch for me.
Physical touch. Your physical touch.
Physical touch, and
your physical touch guy.
I am.
Yeah.
So that does it for me. And then words of affirmation that does mean a lot, but physical touch. Yeah.
Okay, Cheryl, what's your love language, girl?
For me, out of all of these, it will be quality time. It's a blend, like Jonathan. Mine will be quality time and words of affirmation, because I guess every now and then I do want to hear out of my partner's mouth. I need them to affirm how they feel for me. And that is just me being 100% in my feminine essence.
Yeah.
Yes, I love spending quality time with my partner, but I do want to hear him say occasionally, I love you. You're beautiful. I appreciate what you do for me. Those
Yeah.
that affirmation, you're doing good. Keep going. You're doing great. Don't give up. Even if you're scared of something, I'm right here with you. I got you, baby. For sure. Like I'm
Yes.
be feeling like Superwoman on top of the world. So for me, definitely quality time followed by, words of affirmation. I love
Quality
that.
time and words of affirmation.
Miss Dunn? Oh, he ain't even in there. But okay, so words of
Kim?
affirmation for me. For me, it's like pretty much a combination of everything. Receiving gifts, not so much so. Okay, it's not that. I'm more of a. I need to hear it sometimes. The words of affirmation for me, because quality time can be either or. Now we make time because you just never know what our livelihood or what's going on in our life.
Right.
Like in my situation, my significant other works overnight. I work during the day. So usually when he's coming home, I've already left to go to work. And when I get off work, he's already left to go to work. So it's kind of like, and it's not like that every day. So and I do know that this is very important for him. And it's just understanding what he is. Again, it goes with the communication part. When he is off work, I didn't have to tell him, hey, babe, you coming? Because I knew he was already tired. He got off work. And I was like, you're going to come, blah, blah, blah. Just him taking that time to support me in what I do.
Right.
That is like the ultimate, like, man, I don't feel like I'm by myself. Right. I know you got me without saying it. But on the flip side of that, I do know that he's not a verbal person, but that's important for me.
So that's what I was going to ask about women who are more verbal as opposed to men.
But this is what he does, though. Okay. I know that he's not verbal. So I said, the only way I can show you what I want, I have to communicate. I'm going to do to you what I would like for you to do to me. So it's never a time that doesn't go by that I'm not saying, you know what, I sure do appreciate you. You're such a da-da-da-da-da-da. And he says, you know what? Oh, that is so sweet. You know what? I need to say it more. And then he does it. I don't get offended because I initiated that, because I know he's still working at getting better at it. And then there are times he just show up and say, I just wanted to come and just give you a kiss and tell you I love you. I'm like, oh my God, you did that for me. So it's just, that's telling me that he hear me.
Gotcha.
I don't get upset or anything like that, but it's just working together. And so to me, I would really say that pretty much all of it, minus the gifts thing. It's nice, but their words of affirmation is.
What is his love language?
Physical touch.
I think that's gonna top it for a lot of men. I'm gonna be honest. That physical touch.
I mean, it's cool that you saying those nice things, but girl,
show me.
touch.
Touch me.
Yeah, right. And another thing with him is acts of service. I noticed when he's doing things like, participating in certain things, that is a very strong love language for him. Like, he said, "You're gonna support me on this," and I was just playing with him because he's into politics, And he was like, "So if I run for office, you gonna run for office for me?" And even though I made a comment, I was like, "No, I ain't doing none of that. So you're not gonna stand by my side to do blah." No, that's what you want to do. And I did that when I realized, like, oh, wait a minute, girl, you can't. Hold on, Kim. Hold up,
Right.
chick. Back that up. And later on, I came back and I said, you know what? I will stand by you. No matter what your views are, that's my job to be there to support you. Just like you didn't even think twice about me putting you on Front Street and having you be a part of my show, or me doing so and so. And I know that was uncomfortable for you. So yeah, I'm gonna stand by you no matter what. Even with us going to the different churches, it's just bringing it together. It's like, he said, "What would you do? Would you not go to your church anymore? We get married. What are you going to do?" I said, "I follow you." And that was important to him. And I'm like, booyah, got him.
That's a Michelle Obama moment, because she was very uncomfortable with Barack running for president.
Yes.
Right.
And so that cast her in that light. And so, so she, I guess, for the lack of it, she put up with it. She reveled in that role.
Yeah.
For 8 years.
Yeah, she did it. But I mean, and it's a beautiful thing. I love that love that they put out there.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. It's like, man, we need more of that. I'm sure they have their fair share of problems. But that right there is what you want to see as far as the love and affirmation and stuff like that. So
we didn't see no scandals for this.
Now,
thank God. I'm glad we didn't.
4 years later.
Exactly.
We didn't need no more Monica Lewinsky's.
Exactly. So we're gonna transition a little bit, and I know we're probably getting short on time. It's gonna keep going. Oh, Mr. Don said keep going. So we're going to transition into our fun time. This is what I call our ball to fade time. And the ball to fade is really a segment that's set aside like there's questions and answers. It's kind of like, I need your advice on some things.
In the barber shop.
And in the barber shop, right. You sit in that chair. What's the first thing they ask you? You want ball to fade, brother? Like, how you want it? So, yes. So complimenting Mr. Dunn, he had to bring that in. I was like, that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that. So this is a random question, because we've all been married before. And Jonathan, you're now married, right? So I'm not anticipating that you and y'all better not.
Oh no, they're gonna be married forever.
But for us newbies,
she's gonna throw me back to the woods.
She just chunky. Boom. Better not. You better not. We invested, brother.
Oh, my mama already. It was like, you get his room ready.
Get it right.
Back to Brookhaven, Mississippi.
Oh my gosh. So here's a ball to fade random question. It says, when you do this marriage thing again, what would you change? What would you keep? And I think, Jonathan, you asked this question on Cheril's show. So you wanted to know, what would you, if you was to do this marriage thing again, because her show is about divorce, all things undone. Is that it, Cheril?
Yep. That's correct.
And so there was one of those questions. So if you was to do this marriage thing again, what would you change? What would you keep? Now, Jonathan, I'm not going to let you answer this just yet, because you're already married and I'm not anticipating you get divorced. So you better not. So Cheril, what would you change and what would you keep?
All right. So Jonathan and I kind of had this conversation, and I have not yet answered these questions for him. I kind of left him hanging.
Yeah, you did.
Kind of left him hanging. Okay. So if I was to do this marriage thing again, like what would I change, and what would
you keep?
What would I keep, and what would I want to be different? That's so loaded. That is such a loaded question. I think for sure. Let me turn this down for a minute. What I would keep is the level of intimacy that my ex and I shared.
Okay.
Through the course of our marriage, that part did not dwindle.
Okay.
The communication between the two of us on what we wanted and did not want intimately was never a question. That was the easy part, I feel.
Okay. That was the easy part for you.
That was the easy part for me, for us in that relationship was like the intimacy, keeping it going, keeping it fresh. That was not ever an issue.
Mhm.
Mm,
My
okay.
my issue with myself, I learned, is that I exhibit a lot of masculine energy
Mm.
when I am in work mode. And I was in work
Oh,
mode a lot. And I think it just neutralized what my ex and I had. Because no man wants to come home to a woman who's acting like an alpha male.
well, I agree with that. I don't
That's
think
true.
so either. Like,
So
That's true.
I had to learn that. So
where's
I
that
think that would
softness?
be right. That would be the part that I would change. I would be really cognizant of being my feminine self, but I would need a partner who was strong enough to make me feel safe. I don't know how else to put that. I need to feel safe enough to be feminine.
So Don
Mm.
asked how long were you married, and I said 25 years, and he
25 years.
said, are y'all still friends?
Well, we attempted to be friends, but he recently got married. So that threw, that's a complication because the new wife just she ain't, she like, no, I don't care if y'all got 3 kids and 30 years behind you. That shit is for the birds. So like we don't talk now. No.
Yeah, and all their
Yeah.
kids are
We're
grown.
not, our children are grown, and we don't have any, there's no animosity between us. We just don't talk out of respect for the fact that he is now married again.
What that do? I'm lost.
What did it, huh?
So can she had a man and he got a wife. Can they be at the same place?
He said if you have a man, and now that your ex has a wife, y'all can't be in the same place.
Can
We
they?
can. We
Y'all
have
can't. He
been.
said yes, they
Yeah,
can.
we've shared holidays with our children, with his when she was then his
Mhm.
fiance. Now he's
Mhm.
his the wife, and my grandson's birthday is coming up. I'm sure we'll all be in the same place at the same time.
Okay, so
Okay.
y'all are neutral, so that's
Yeah,
good.
we're neutral.
That's good.
Yeah, it's just that
That's
they're not.
family in law.
It's
That's
just the
what they call it.
boundaries of
It's the
how close
boundaries.
they can be as far as
Right.
Yeah.
There's a boundary there.
talking or talking on the phone or communication wise. It's just
Right.
the boundaries. So
Oh, okay.
So that has changed. That boundary is now in place.
Do
Mm.
they have conversation at that
Do they? I don't think so. You and the wife are not. Y'all don't
No, we
communicate,
don't
right?
communicate. We're no.
The wife made it clear that hey, I don't care about 30 years between y'all and 3 kids. That's for the birds. So
Yeah,
wife
no.
is like off limits,
you saying
but they can
Yeah.
be in the same space together. Just know,
We're cordial. We're cordial.
yeah. I don't think she care.
What was the question?
Said y'all will get there.
No. She have to get there.
She said he's saying that. You mean the other woman have to get there
With her
with her? Why?
because they are now a family.
I understand.
If she wanted or not. Because now they gonna have kids and grandkids all gonna be in that same circle. So she
Right.
gonna have to communicate with her. Right now she in a little, I got in, or he my nigga or whatever, but
Right.
she'll come out.
how
Mm.
long
Right.
is
Right.
have you been married now, Cheryl? Your
Who?
ex-husband. How long has he been married now?
He just got married in January.
Oh, it's still fresh.
Right. It's very
He's
fresh,
still in
y'all.
the
Y'all know
newly.
how this. It'll be a minute.
He's saying as time go on, you will.
That she don't know the other woman is that no matter how much she may dislike you, y'all bond is closer to me and his.
Yeah.
The women bond gonna be no matter what.
Mm.
So my point, the best story I ever seen in my life, I cried. You ever watch Half and Half?
Yeah. The half and half with I forgot she has a
Tia
funny
Tamara?
name. Pepper
That's what the man
uh
had two daughters.
T and Tamara.
not Tia Tamara. It's half and half. It's
Oh,
with
that's the other one. Yeah.
I can't think of
Lindsay
her name.
Lohan.
No. Look up half and half on your phone. It's
Okay.
the sitcom Half and Half. I've seen it. I love that show.
You remember the two ladies always crack on each other, always talking about
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
The one that gave me tears, where the tall lady went to have breast surgery, went to have cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody didn't come with her. The husband, the kid, nobody. Guess who showed up?
The other wife.
The wife. You know what she said? While you're here, she said, I have to be here. I cried when I saw that.
I ain't seen it yet.
I ain't seen it either.
Mm.
Yeah, half and half.
Y'all gonna be for each other, but when she get through off her honeymoon,
Mhm.
she gonna call her one day out the blue, and she gonna throw up.
Well, I think it.
But But when she get there, she'll get there. Can't force her to get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about y'all. I don't care what they say. Y'all may hate each other to have whatever, but y'all have a bond more than we do.
Mhm. That's
Oh
true.
wow.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah, because brothers ain't calling other brothers be like, hey man, we don't
Look, I don't have no intention of calling that woman and saying anything.
But no, he said she will call you eventually.
Yeah,
She'll,
I have
she'll
no
show up
intention.
to
I don't
you.
have a reason
Yeah.
to. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So she's still no, she's a big dog.
Yeah.
She's a big dog.
In a way, I
And
can
will
kind of see.
always will be the big dog.
because she has
And-
the experience and she has that,
And
and
she
she's
carry her own weight without no jealousy or nothing.
Right.
Mhm. I can kind of see that because when my husband passed away, my second husband passed away. It was, and I think it had, and it may have had something to do with how the kids reacted to that as well. And I told my kid's father that he had passed away, and he was like, "Wow!" It was like his facial expression was like, "Whoa." And for the first time, that's when he showed compassion. Because I mean, prior to that, it was like, oh well, you do you, I do me, blah blah blah. But that was the first time that he actually was like, I'm sorry to hear that. And he literally was. He was like, man, I'm sorry to hear that. But they had talked before. These guys, they talked before. Like they had a man to man. We can co-parent this thing, but when it comes down to this boy, I need you to step in and do your part. I'm not here to take over or step up to nothing. I step in, but I don't I'm not no stepfather. Let's get that twisted. He said, don't get it twisted, rather. And he said, let's make this understood that I'm here this woman right here is who I love. I love this woman. So anything that I love about her, I love all of her. That includes these kids and it includes you too, in spite of however you may feel about it. But that's his stand as a man. And he says, so at the end of the day, if she call you and tell you that this boy is getting out the way, see, it's not my job to say nothing to your son yet. But if she come to you and tell you blah, blah, blah is going on with your son and you don't do nothing with it, oh, you gave me free reign, player. I'm gonna do something about it. And I dare you to step to her and say, you ain't had no business telling. No, you gonna address me, the man. Because I done already told you, she told you, and you didn't do nothing about it. So it was kind of like understood. So with much respect, that's the first time that I actually saw that dynamic. Like, man, when he literally was like, I'm sorry to hear that. And he said, if you need anything, let me know. I was shocked because I was like, he ain't never been concerned.
That's respect.
And I love situations like Cheril and that. What happens if she got married? You ever seen somebody going to Ivory, like in a cubicle or whatever?
Ivory, like a ivory plant.
Running,
And
then they stop taking care of it, it died.
Right.
They don't die, it just stops. So we start taking care of it, it start back growing.
They start growing. Right. Right.
That's what happened with us in relationships. Grow. Like 25 years, she just grew for 25 years. It stopped dying. Now the person got to take care of it is the new lady.
To take care of the ivory.
That's why ivory runs. So if she never feed that ivory, that's gonna be bad on her, not on Cheril, on her.
Right.
Don't grow. And we grow in life. We don't stunt.
That's right.
But the reason Cheril are being chocolate, Cheril is the what? The root.
All right now.
Well, thank you for that word. Praise God and hallelujah. I accept it. I am that.
Yes.
I am that. I claim it 100%. Yes.
Do I put water on you? Do I put what I take care of it? That's the root.
Well, child, I
She
say,
been through it. She's the manual. For the
yeah,
pretty much. Pretty much. Oh my goodness, Lord Jesus.
All she wants, because on that ivory is kids, grandkids, money, situation, his medicine, how he take it. Did you know this? Ain't the mama come on all day.
Wow.
Everybody know those little things on that leaf, but sure.
Well, this is true.
Blood type.
This is true. Well, Now you good. I like it. Come on with it. So with these things, as far as this marriage thing again, I'm pro marriage all the way, y'all. I'm just always relationship marriage. That's just my thing. I just truly think it's something more beneficial when you're married to somebody. You have a partner in crime, like that's my ride or die. Without a shadow of a doubt, I know he's my ride or die.
Yeah, you just quoting like Bunny and Clyde.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. But what would I change? We both been married before. I think it's 4 years with him, and it was 18 years for me. So going through that whole process of divorce, I know it's a lot of unpacking to do. And I've been married twice. So the first time 18, second time, unfortunately, it was less than a year, but we were together 3 years. So it was like that compilation, all of that. What would I change? I don't think I would change anything.
That's like the greatest hits, huh?
Yeah. I can't. I wouldn't change. I would enhance what I did. I think there were some things that I could have done more rather than take away more of. And that comes with growing, understanding that it comes with that. So I wouldn't change anything, and I keep it all. I keep it all minus. No, I keep it all. I wouldn't change anything. I don't think there's anything that I would change. I just continue to get better and grow with my partner. That's the best word that I can give on that one.
Yep.
And I ain't saying that because he's in the studio either.
Of course you're not.
Look, I know he done slid a comment in there or something. No, because he's in the studio. So, but I wouldn't change anything. I think marriage is a great dynamic, especially with two people who have come together and said, hey, we're going to make this work. We in this thing till the wheels fall off. So I'm all pro marriage, y'all. So, hey, get you a good one. Stick with it. Work it out. Work through it. Okay. So Miss Roxy is 36 years old. Now, this is kind of about the relationship thing, and we kind of addressed this earlier. She says, I've been with my guy now for 3 years. We do everything together, and I do mean everything, but live. So they don't live under the same roof. She says, when we are at work, he acts as if he doesn't know me. But outside of work in public, he is very open with affection and he treats me like we are in a full relationship. Yet he tells me that he is not into labels. I want more than just being his public trophy. Should I ball this thing and stick with it or fade this out and leave? Jonathan, come on with it, Jonathan. I need to take a sip on this one.
All right, so there's some things that's left out. So at work is like, what are the roles at work? Is he in a supervisory position and she's not? Or, so how does that work? And if they did find out they were in a relationship with that, depending on where they work and how they did things, would they switch her to a different shift or different department? So there's some questions there.
Okay, I can answer that.
Okay.
They both in the same role.
They're in the same role.
And everybody know about them.
Everybody know about them.
At work?
At work.
Everybody know at work?
So he's compartmentalizing. Work is work. Relationship is relationship. So he's compartmentalizing.
Yeah, they go to company functions and all that. Everybody knows that they're together, work, everything. I can answer that because I was typing it when she was I was like, wait, let me make sure I understand this. What?
Okay.
So yeah.
So I'm thinking, first of all, as the old folks say, and all thy getting, get an understanding first.
That part.
Cheryl, have you heard that before?
I have. That's a scripture, honey, and all that getting understanding. Yes, that's in the Proverbs or the Psalms. Back there.
So I think that the first step is for she and he to sit down and be like, look, okay, so modus operandi, what is we doing? And why are we behaving such a way at work? And, where are we going with this? Are we just going to kind of stay in this holding pattern? Is there room for growth? Because she's 36. What does she have? Like probably a good good 30 years left, 28, 29 years left, before,
Yeah, before the inevitable to happen.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to
Before
say,
everybody
yeah.
started breaking down.
Right.
So those are your
Mhm.
good years.
Exactly.
How are you going to spend your good productive years? So communication first. And then if you guys can't reach a consensus, if you can't get an understanding, then you gotta let your next move be your best move.
Mhm.
Cheryl, what you think? I got more. I'm gonna say.
Okay, so looking at the scenario, depending on the policy at work, even though everybody knows they're together, he may see it differently on a professional level. Because you could date someone at work and still be, be 100% professional and treat them like you treat other employees, even if y'all are co-workers, just to keep down confusion at work. I used to work in a call center, and the number one rule is this: if you dating, you better act like you don't know each other at work, even if
Oh.
everybody know y'all together. Keep it
Mhm.
kosher, keep it professional, keep that to a minimum. Your affection for each other at work should not be on full display. Now, some people still did. Now, did it cause some issues? Yeah, from other jealous people. So I can see why he acts a certain way at work. So we're gonna give him a pass on that one.
We're gonna give him a pass.
It could be his professional demeanor. Now I'm gonna tell you my other theory in just a minute, but hold on.
Okay.
Now, he doesn't like labels. And they've been together for 3 years. And she is 36 years old. She's going to have that conversation with that man. That's going to be a difficult conversation, whether he wants to hear it or not. But she needs to sit him down and straight out ask him. After 3 years, you should both be comfortable enough with each other to sit and ask the question. We've been in this for 3 years. At this point, are we progressing towards something? If so, what are we progressing towards, as Jonathan said? If we're not, and you just want to keep seeing where it goes, then I'm gonna have to let you go, see where it goes by yourself, because I am looking for a long-term commitment. If indeed that's what she's looking for, it sounds like she wants more. She has to say that. She has to say that to him. That conversation has to be had. I want more than what I'm getting
Just
from
being
you.
this public trophy. Yeah.
Right. She has to tell him that. She has to tell him she wants more. Now, what he does with that information will show her his true character. Now, my other theory as to why maybe he treats her strictly professional at work and that he wants to continue with no labels is maybe he has someone else. That's my pessimistic side talking. But it's a possibility that if you've been with this, because trust me, when we meet the person, we know. We get with somebody, the man definitely. Men know where they want to go with a woman when they meet her.
And women know too. We know
And women
too.
know, we know. So
Oh, yeah.
he knows what he wants the outcome of that relationship to be. She has to ask him the right questions to get it, and ask him flat out, rip that band-aid off. Don't beat
Yeah.
around the bush, because
Especially-
as a female, sometimes we'll pussyfoot around a question with a man.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
pussyfoot around. What Judge Judy said it one time, baby, you see that tree over there? That's a tree. That man understands that to be a tree. If you
Right.
go to the man and you explain it to him and you say, I want you to go stand over there by that brown thing right there with the green stuff on top and the leaves and stuff, he's going to be looking at you like you crazy.
Why
Tell
you
that
just
man, go stand by the tree. Ask him flat out, I want more. Are you willing to give me more? Are you willing to commit to me? That's what she needs to do. That's my opinion.
Okay, I'm gonna let Don give his 2 cents, then I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Because the question, yep. Should I ball this thing or stick with it or fade this out and leave? So Don said, okay. He said, I've been with my guy now for over 3 years. We do everything together, and I do mean everything but live.
Right there. Stop right there.
But live.
It's all you need to know.
She's still single.
But this is the thing. And this for women, it's free.
Uh-huh.
The bottom line, she said,
Yep.
been with this guy for 3 years. When you first start
He finna tell it.
You talk about relationship. This is a perfect example of kicking.
Yep.
Yup.
No, yeah.
The longer you go in a relationship, your value go down.
Yeah.
You can ask him.
You gotta stand firm. Yeah.
Tell you what he want to tell you.
Mhm.
So don't go ask him nothing. You have to make a decision for you.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
That's for you. Not no
Yeah.
bad way.
Yeah.
Because, see, women think of people.
Mhm.
I put in 4 years, 5 years, 6 years.
Mm.
So if you go up, your value go down.
Hmm.
If
Mm-hmm.
he ain't making no move. So what do you mean making move? So his move should be he don't worry about no labor. He don't worry about what nobody say. We want you. We want you.
Yeah.
So
He just
Right.
rent. He ain't trying to buy.
down,
Yeah.
as he added his value, your value go down.
Right.
Mm.
As they say, like
Mr.
Jonathan
Dunn,
said,
He ain't trying to buy. He just renting.
He just
ain't-
renting.
He ain't trying to buy.
Oh,
People gonna be asking, "Dang, what's wrong with that house?"
right. Mm-hmm.
When she said that, you been kicking it.
Mm-hmm.
When you kick it, you settle.
Yep.
So that house he talking about.
Ooh.
So that house he talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but girl, I finally got me a house. It's in my name, but it ain't what I want.
Right.
I'm trying to hear women say that.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
rental.
You can buy.
Right.
Why buy the milk when you sampling it for free? Like that.
The value.
Yeah.
Value. You gotta know what your value is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Thing though. It's the thing about value. Everybody want to deposit, but nobody want to take it.
Ooh,
Yep.
right.
Mhm.
Right. That's true.
Yep.
That
Yep.
boy, he
Yep.
nailed it.
Right.
That's true.
Slam dunk.
Everybody
Mr.
want to
Dunn.
do. Yeah.
Slam dunk.
So I'm gonna get my theory on this one.
What's up?
Okay.
I do know her personally,
Oh,
and
okay.
I basically, and for the record, that's not her real name.
Okay.
Because I would never do that to her.
Right.
And I've said this before. Y'all work together. Some things are just better left split. Yeah, it's true. Everybody know who you guys are. They know that y'all are a couple. But my favorite phrase, and it stands firm and true to this day, a hit dog will always holler.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a darn, and it fits every scenario.
Yep.
The reason why, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna hurt your feelings. The reason why at work we gonna keep it exclusive, it ain't got nothing to do with what policies are in play. It ain't got nothing to do with that because y'all on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
It's got everything to do with that other woman that's there at that workplace.
Huh.
I'm
I
just
told
gonna be-
you. I had put that in there, didn't I?
I'm gonna be blunt.
Mhm.
It's got yeah, oh yeah.
I had
know,
said it.
I told you I know them personally.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got everything to do with that other woman. Now, it's cool. I know about her. Yeah, I know she. Yeah, okay. I know that's your boo or whatever you want to classify her as. That's why he don't want to put no labels on it.
That's right.
They kind of broke up once, but it wasn't. Yeah, but nevertheless, it's got everything to do with that other woman.
Hmm.
He
I
ain't gonna
said
settle.
that. I
They been-
said it.
He not gonna settle with you, boo.
Let me go back. So, my first came here and asked y'all where y'all from.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We can't even have a mall.
Nope.
Yeah,
A
well,
mall?
little
No.
mall, another
No.
well, shopping
No.
strip,
No.
shopping strips.
So what mall did y'all go to?
Macomb or
Macomb
Jackson.
or Jackson.
So what's the name of that mall?
It's several North Park
North
Mall.
Park Mall, and then
There used to be the Metro Center.
and then the
Um,
one in Macomb was.
Mhm.
You said mall. When you go to the mall, what do you do when you go to the mall?
You
Shop.
browse.
Browse. Yep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna pick a store.
Mhm.
So we're gonna say this store is gonna be Dillon.
Mhm.
You go in the Dillon. That's you in the mall.
Mhm.
When you walk in the mall, you walk to see what other store.
Mhm.
Mhm.
When you walk to other stores, one thing you don't do, you offer yourself, let me walk the mall first before I go back to the other. I may find what?
Something else.
That's right.
I know.
Let me go through that one more time.
So what we do
Mhm.
as men, we don't choose early.
Mhm.
We don't choose early. We walk the mall first.
Mhm.
We take 3 years.
Yeah.
Walk the mall to see if there's anything better.
Mhm.
To see if I can upgrade.
Yeah.
But when we walk in the mall and you in that store, dealer, you know we come back and get me because my sales will go up. But he ain't coming back to get you. You done laid it out, you done pressed it, you done put a bow in it,
Mhm.
where you work, and he coming back. What do I always say? Well, let me go down here, I'll be back. When you
Mhm.
don't come back, you said, I thought you coming back.
Mhm. Well.
That value.
Mhm.
marketplace.
Yeah.
But I heard
Right.
therapist on the other phone, Cheril, said
Sure.
that she gonna go talk and ask him. Well, you have to know when not to ask, not to talk. Just go.
Well,
That's
true.
true. That's true. Baby, look.
Because
Well, here's the thing. I was going off the premise of they're in a committed relationship of some sort, even though it's not a label on they've been together 3 years. She should be able to ask this man this, and he should be man enough to give her a straight answer. Now, if it's something different, like now, I'm like you,
I said,
3 years in.
have to be man enough. If
Well, I
you
ain't even finna get 3 years in.
no. See,
Yeah,
now
you gotta do the
see that's the thing about her granddad and her dad. They mean it. That's how they would do it.
Mhm.
The
Mm,
generation don't do that.
Mm.
Mhm.
They mean it. And 3 years in,
ain't no way. I ain't going past a
know
year.
you can't handle
Yeah.
it.
You know what? I'm telling you what I'm hearing from Mr. Dunn. I'm hearing some truth. Think about it as if you are a sports team owner.
Mhm.
Your quarterback ain't producing. It's been 3 years. You ain't got a ring.
Oh, he
So you see another option
right.
to trade
Let's
Dathaniel.
talk about it. Let's talk about it.
He's
Ooh,
gonna
child.
get traded back to the streets,
Take a drink.
and then there's gonna be another quarterback in because you try to get a ring this year.
That's right.
So that's the thing that I'm looking at her. So that first letter, she said, I.
Yeah, just I
It's all about her.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. Well,
No, I have to realize. So how she do that? She had to go cold turkey. That's hard in a relationship.
mm-hmm.
That is
Trade.
When I
hard.
cut you off,
You know how you cuddle, how you doing that, but the thing though, when she can cut that cold turkey off, then
Mhm.
you start moving forward.
Mhm.
Move forward.
yeah.
Then she'll know what's up. But one thing that is really gets to me is that men are bullshitters. If she go ask that guy all the questions that Miss Cheril said, he gonna tell her that's gonna tell what she want to hear.
Mm.
She still her face still go down, but now it's the fourth year. Now it's the fifth year.
Oh wow.
She keep getting what she want to hear.
But here's the thing: you don't keep asking. You ask. You get the answer. If he give you that answer that you want to hear, and his actions don't line up, same thing. It's time for her to go. I mean, I'm not saying keep asking the question. I'm saying ask. If he say, "Yeah, baby, I want to be with you," but his actions don't back that up, it's time for sis to go. It's time for her to make a decision, and she don't have to say shit after that. It's gonna be okay, sir. I saw you. I see you. I'm gone. I mean, but ask. I would ask.
He said he gonna
Tell
ask
me.
you one question, Cheryl.
What?
Okay.
What's the most valuable thing on this planet?
What's the most valuable thing on this planet?
I'm gonna go with water.
No, I'm talking. I ain't talking about
Essential.
What's the most valuable thing on this planet?
Water and air. Wait. I don't know. You mean relationship wise? Cause see, I'm talking.
No, it's the most valuable thing on this planet. Let me tell you, it's called time.
Because we have a limited amount of it.
Time.
That part, I ain't wasting no 3 years.
Time. So when your time is valuable, sometimes you have time to go back and try to find out why. So it's two Y's. It's a WHY and it's the alphabet.
Well, here's the thing. That's you talking from a male perspective, but as a woman, we do want to see that action backed up. So I'm speaking from a female. Now, I have not had the experience yet of experiencing this because I have not made a decision that I want to be married a second time, you guys. So, the relationships I'm in, I'm not looking. I don't have this thing like this young lady where I want somebody to marry me. So I guess if I got to that point, it just depends on me. Like I'm gonna watch your actions before I ask you anything. But if I love you enough, I might ask you a question.
This is the thing, Cheril. See, we work as far as the process, things in line. We work and we deprocess. That's how we work. So the thing that when you work in the process, I want to know this. Even when in, I want to know this. It ain't no this. Sometimes when you know your value, the process is over. It's no more outline. But that's how it operates, especially when you go, because you hear folks say, if I were you, I go ask him why. Ain't no why. The why should be when he come to you. That's the WHY. The alphabet why until you move on.
I'm out. Deuces.
Trade
But
deadlines.
to do
So in other words, she need to be gone. In other words, what we saying to this young lady is, sis, he playing you, move on.
So no. I think
She said, I.
I think she's trying to make a decision. Should I continue going on with this, or should I just leave it alone? Like, just walk away. She's out, babe. You done already made up your mind.
I'm
When
about to
you
say,
go to
based
ask
on this
the question,
conversation,
you done already made up your mind.
So she's already evaluated what her return on this investment of 3
is
years
right.
been,
Yeah.
and it ain't really panned out. So are you
Mhm.
going, are you going to cash out and go?
How can you walk away from something you never been yours?
Well, again, that's how you guys think.
No.
We're women. So I get where she's coming from, and you're right. The value versus devalue, I get that. But she said because we love first with our emotions. That's just how we're wired. So yeah, she's gonna start it out. I've been in a relationship. So this is where it all goes back for me. You should have defined. He said he don't want labels. Then what are we? See, we don't keep going past this. You done had this conversation before with him. You had to. We don't keep going past this. 3 years, baby. After 6 months, no. Where are we with this? Because I'm not.
Yeah, right. What we doing?
I don't have time to play with you, bro.
Wait a minute. This was a COVID relationship.
Maybe it was a COVID.
It was COVID, right? COVID is over, baby. Go, honey.
Oh my goodness.
No.
This is a person to person, and that person is yourself. See, the first letter,
She already knew.
It's a word called selfish.
She knew.
It's a word called self.
You was in a relationship, but what was he?
See,
She didn't define it.
The word called selfish. People say, "Oh, you self," but the first 4 letters do what?
Self.
Yeah. Self. Yep.
So if you don't work on self, one thing about people get in relationship is that we come twin, we become conjoined twin, we this, we that. No.
Right.
And it's the other thing about I'm shocked with her at a 36-year-old woman, but she ain't there yet. It ain't about age.
No, it ain't.
It's
not about age.
It's a plan.
So she has no plans.
Yep.
It don't sound like she do.
Right here on this
guy. Yep.
So my thing with anybody, I've been in that relationship before. But mine had a P whooped on mine in the front end. I was. So while I thought I was coming up, I was going down. The other dude was going hitting them. I think I'm going up, we looking good, smelling good. My car, all that wind blowing. But my back was going down because she was getting messing up.
Done. I gave up a wife like that.
Wow.
I couldn't compete. With I couldn't compete with the preacher.
Yeah.
With the preacher.
Oh yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh
Why
man.
we had that conversation on the show, Jonathan? Why we didn't have that conversation on?
You know what? So at the end of the day, because I did tell her, I said I need you to zoom in, like tune in. You don't comment because I would rather you hear from different perspectives. But at the end of the day, and this is what I said to her, you already have your answer. You don't need validation from me. Right. You don't need validation from anybody else's opinion because it starts with you. You said, I've been in this relationship with my guy. I've been in this relationship with my guy. You already labeled.
She answered her own question.
You got a label on him. He doesn't have a label on
him.
She
answered her own question.
Let me ask you this question. So you know her.
Yes.
Self-esteem wise, what is her self-esteem like? How does she look? Does she think that she can get better in the marketplace? You know her.
She's a beautiful woman. Self-esteem wise, yes, she's fairly confident. But I think when it comes to relational, that's where it breaks down. Because there was some things that has happened over time for her. And I think that's where we draw the dynamic. And this is why we as women have those questions like that. Because again, like I told her, now it's time for us to start thinking, not with our emotions. Right. We have to now think as if it's you. Think self first.
Yeah.
Love you first. Build you up first. Get you in a position to where you don't need anybody else to validate you. I don't.
Right.
If I work with my dude, my guy, everybody know I work with him. That's just what that is. You don't introduce me as, oh, my friend, y'all know what this is. No, you tell
No,
me.
we don't
What
have to do that.
it ain't none of that. To you tell them what it is. So it's like defining your relationship from the get-go. After 3 years, I was still just shocked. Why 3 years? Are
Y'all
you
kicking it? Y'all just kicking it after 3 years? Like,
want more? You should have been wanting more from the get-go. You have children, not with him, but you have children. You already have been down this road.
well, here's the thing, Kim. Here's
Uh-huh.
the thing. She made a lot of assumptions, it sounds like, with this relationship. She went in assuming at the beginning that eventually he's going to say XYZ, because that's what we do. Sometimes we don't communicate verbally what we need, right? We just assume that if, like Mr. Don said, if I stick around and I do all these things and I be his everything and we do everything, eventually he's going to give me a ring. Eventually he's going to commit to me. Eventually he's going to do X, Y, and Z. Right. And she, like you said, selfish. She has to go back to just focusing on herself and what makes her happy. That's what I'm learning.
Yeah.
And I've had one, it wasn't even a commitment. Yeah, a couple summers ago, I started talking to a guy and he wanted to move really fast. He wanted to move in, he wanted to do all this stuff. And Cheryl's brain was like, I just got out. My divorce was just final a year ago. So what you not about to do, mister?
Yeah.
Is try to move up in here with me.
Right.
Watch out for them homosexuals.
Right.
We had to cut that off right quick. But up front, even in that, he knew what he wanted. He was trying to go forward. That man knew then that he wasn't going to do nothing further with her. I don't know how else to say it. So focus on yourself. I had to tell a friend girl that the other day. That's the hardest lesson for us to learn, ladies, is to be selfish. Being selfish is self-care. It's us learning what we want and don't want. So when we get in a relationship, we can say to the guy, nah, that ain't it, sir. And I mean, I know you don't have to be mean with it, but I'm at that point now. When guys ask to date me, I clearly say no, thank you. And when they say why, it's because I don't want to.
Right.
I mean, you're not for me. I don't know what to tell you.
So Don said he want to ask you.
What kind of car you? What kind of car you?
He's
Expedition.
What kind of car your wife
Uh,
got?
Chrysler 300.
Let me throw this at. See, when she said that they had been in a relationship for 3 years. One thing about you got to find out when you kick it, and the name of this car is called kicking it. You have to find out the relationship that you in, that you kicking or not, because his expedition, his car, his truck, everybody drive different.
of course. Of course.
Same car, everybody drive different. How many business with you got?
Yeah.
What happened in that situation with her? See, I was looking for the joint connection. Oh, we go together. He said we go together, but it don't match. To him, you kicking it, and to you, you go together. They don't match. So what you got to do is find out what car you gonna drive that you gonna drive.
Get to understand.
It goes both from the beginning.
What you say, Jonathan? Get an understanding.
So you got to, and that's with yourself.
I agree.
Because the whole time, and this what I love that word because it's so profound in this day and time. You are kicking it. We live in 2023, but we want 1963 values.
Yeah.
Yeah. We kicking it. And we get deep. We fucking.
That's all it is. That's just what it is. That's what we're doing.
And that's okay. You have to accept that no matter what he tell you, because you see your value is going down.
Absolutely.
And we can't allow our value to go down. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, but
Value
that's what she's been doing.
You know what? I'm gonna reference this into a group that you guys probably still, because you introduced me to this group. Tank and the Bangers, right?
I love them.
And so there's a live version, a soulful version of the song Walmart, in which this probably really encapsulates something for this young lady. And one of the lyrics, Tank says that the mirror, she had a piece of a mirror that her mom gave her. She's like, self-reflection shouldn't be dependent on someone else's view of you.
That's it. Ooh, child.
That part.
It's
That
that
part.
mirror.
That part.
Woo!
Right
You can
there.
say that again. It's that mirror.
So
That person looking at you, that's who all that matters. It's what
That's
you
who-
think about
right.
that person that's staring back at you, not what other people think. Now I don't care what he said.
right.
That's
I
right.
don't care what your mama and them expect. I don't care about the children don't like baby.
Yep.
Self
reflection, selfish.
There you go.
Self-esteem.
Okay, well, nobody say it's about this right here. It's about me.
That's right. So y'all go listen to it. I think you get blessed from it. But
And look, y'all. I have a different engagement that I'm supposed to be at, so I'm gonna get ready to get off of here. You all.
Well, we're gonna wrap it up real quick. So Cheril, tell them how they can reach you. I think I have you on the board. Tell them how everybody can reach you. Go for it, girlfriend.
Okay, so you can reach me on Facebook at Cheril Bryce Nathaniel. I am on TikTok, Instagram, in Snapchat as Granny She Is. That's the host name I go by on my podcast, All Things Undone, which you can catch on Spotify. And that's it. That's how you can get in touch with me.
Oh, your email.
Oh, my email address is my first name dot my last name at outlook.com. So Cheril.Nathaniel at outlook.com is my email address.
Awesome, boo. And Jonathan, how can everybody reach you?
They can reach me. Y'all call if you want to. About some business.
Right. Business like this. Real's a broker, y'all. Come on now.
Exactly. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Hey, I'm throwing my plug in right quick. You have a house to sell.
We're gonna bring you back.
Whatever. Yeah, we're gonna bring you back.
Definitely bring you back.
Boy, I can do some things. Okay? All right, Facebook is Jonathan R. Hawkins. Notice you want to put an H after that O and the N, or you're gonna get somebody in California. Instagram is Jonathan R. Hawkins _ Texas Broker. And then my email address is Jonathan, JOHNATHAN @exqdreams.com, stands for Exquisite Dreams.
Awesome. And as for me, guys, y'all already know how we do this. Ball Talk with Kim, smooth out the truth to hope. You can find me, email balltalk2022@gmail.com. Bookings for anything. 214 phone number 710-0533. That's text only. You can leave a message, but I would prefer you to email me. That makes it easier. And also Ball Talk with Kim on Facebook and also Twitch. Also on Facebook, my personal page, which is Kimberly Hope. Instagram is at MZHope0429. Until next time, I would like to thank my guests, Jonathan and Cheril, for joining me.
You,
and until next time, see you later.
Bye, y'all.